All right, today we're diving deep into a really dense and fascinating philosophical parable. It's all about the nature of the self, and it's framed as this incredible journey into a metaphorical cave of ideas.
So, right out of the gate, we get hit with this super foreboding line from a character called the Horned Guardian. And it just perfectly sets the stage for the whole conflict, you know? It's all about the difference between a self that's defined by the outside world, by the sun, and one that has to learn to generate its own light from within.
The whole story really kicks off with this massive shift, a descent from a world that's defined by external things into a really challenging internal reality. And let's be clear, this isn't just about a guy walking into a cave. It's a philosophical journey into the very idea of the self.
The source material actually calls this an ontological collapse, and I think that's the perfect way to put it. Think of it like this. Out in the forest, your reality is huge, it's expansive, it's filled with everything that isn't you, what the story calls the not I. But the second you step inside that cave, all of that just vanishes, and you're left with nothing but the crushing, suffocating reality of your own consciousness.
Okay, so to really get what's going on here, we have to understand this core concept. The I is you. It's your consciousness, your sense of self. The not I is, well, it's literally everything else. The walls of your room, the sky, other people. So the story is asking a pretty profound question. What happens when that not I is almost completely stripped away?
And this is where the Guardian just lays it all out on the table. He presents the central challenge. He's basically asking the jester, hey, is your identity real? Is it authentic? Or is it just a performance you put on for an audience? Because he warns, if it's just a performance, then in this total darkness, with no one to watch you, you will simply cease to exist. Now, faced with this total existential threat, the jester doesn't just crumble. No way. He pushes back, and that sets up the core intellectual battle of the whole parable.
This is such a powerful, defiant statement. The jester is arguing that his brilliance, his very being, isn't just a reflection of the sun or an audience or anything else outside of himself. He's claiming to be the source of his own light. He's asserting his own internal power.
And, this isn't just some empty boast. It's actually rooted in a real philosophical idea from a German idealist named Johann Fichte. The core idea is that the I, our sense of self, isn't just some passive observer of the world. No, it actively creates its own reality. It posits itself. And the jester is claiming that exact power for himself.
So the crucial thing to get here is that the cave isn't just a dark place. It's more than that. It's a metaphysical force. It represents the ultimate not I, a presence so absolute and overwhelming that it threatens to completely erase the jester's sense of self. This is the ultimate test of his philosophy. The tension really ramps up here as we get to the final test. They come to this subterranean pool of water, but this is no ordinary pool. It's a mirror that reflects absolutely nothing. Just a void.
And the Guardian's challenge gets even more specific. He says, show me the synthesis. Now, in Fichte's philosophy, this is the third and final principle. Step 1, the I creates itself. Step 2, it runs into a limit, the not I. The third step, the synthesis, is all about overcoming and mastering that limit. The Guardian is demanding the jester prove he can master this absolute darkness.
And this is the heart of the challenge. The Guardian poses this pivotal question. Is your whole identity just an act? Are you just a performer who disappears the second the audience goes home? This is what it all comes down to. That dark pool represents a state of pure self-awareness, what the philosophy calls absolute subjectivity. With literally nothing external to prove he exists, the jester has to generate his own reality from the inside out, or dissolve into nothing. The stakes just could not be higher. And now, we reach the climax. This is the jester's moment of truth, the point where he has this profound realization that completely transforms his understanding of himself and everything around him.
In this moment of utter crisis, staring into nothingness, the jester finally finds his answer. His laughter comes back, but it's different now. It's a low, powerful growl, and he proclaims, I am the audience.
And the actor. And that's the breakthrough. He realizes he doesn't need an external audience because he can be his own. He is both the performer and the witness. He creates this self-sustaining loop of reality all by himself.
What an incredible, powerful reframing of his entire situation. He no longer sees the darkness as a limitation or as a prison. Instead, he sees it as the raw material for his own creation. It's the ink he'll use to write his own story. He has seized total control of his reality.
So what did he actually do? Well, he didn't defeat the darkness. He synthesized it. He followed those 3 steps to sovereignty we talked about. 1, he posited his I. 2, he acknowledged the not I of the cave as his ultimate limit. And 3, he took that limit and incorporated it into himself, making it a fundamental part of his being.
And that right there brings us to the core message of this entire parable. True sovereignty, a true sense of self, isn't something that's given to you by the world. It doesn't depend on sunlight or an audience. It's something you declare, something you create through the sheer force of your own will. Which really leaves us with one final question to think about, doesn't it? What is the source of our own light?